Well, hi everybody. BC here again. Did some trading with Abyssia like we talked about previously. He was a turn late with the payment, so we gave him an extra owl quill. It's just fine. Blood magic, bowl of blood. Spare you clicking on all of these. They found nothing, which is fine. Blood fecundity. So we'll get a little more income in Nabaa itself. Eagles. Contacted Hori. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. I forgot that these girls don't have bodies. So the cross paths are still good for forging. And summons. And they're invisible assassins who can do swarm and all that good stuff. Like, these are still quite powerful units, but not having a body means I can't armor them for thug duty. Well, I guess they could be light thugs maybe, because you have to be really careful with them. Just one protection, which I guess becomes 10 protection with bark skin. It's not a lot to work with. Or why did I say bark skin? Yeah. But they're still good in combat. They're still good for the cross paths. I don't regret summoning this girl, but I wish that I had noticed that they don't have a body. So now I'm summoning a Salat, which does have a body. Those guys are much more akin to the mini Malika. I guess maybe they're more akin to mini Sahirs. They fly, they're stealthy, they all have fire, air, and earth, although it's, I think, fire 1, air 2, earth 1. So we'll get the first one of those going next turn, and then we'll see for sure. Let's see. I also got this Gadar here, which these guys are great assassins. They still don't have bodies, but they are also unseen and ethereal, and the plan will be like they can just go around and blast whomever with infinite imps and maybe a fire elemental while we're at it. So that should be pretty good. Yeah, we'll forge these flasks here. The real thing that I want to do, which I talked about previously, is getting Ifrits going. But one thing I did not realize is that I don't actually have someone with Fire 4 to make a fire booster so that my hero here can actually summon Ifrits. Ifrits require Fire 3, and I only have Fire 2. So that's a little awkward. Let's go ahead and send you out here. Yeah, we can start blood hunting these mountains, which they're already nice and unresty. So, don't get me wrong, I don't want them to be unresty, but just a little bit of gallows humor, I guess. Let's see. Over here, we get our Palisade in 2 turns, so there's not enough time to recruit another dude before that's in place. Magic Site. Sure, I'll take it. Alright. Satis took another assassination attempt with Iker. So again, regen, physical resistance, diseased itself, which I didn't realize that Ikers could disease themselves. Calm Immortal casts Iron Warriors instead of just casting Iron Skin. And then she goes and blasts it with fire, I guess, which works well enough. So she doesn't have a full buff cycle, is the point I'm trying to make, and I'm surprised that she didn't go for meditation, but nonetheless, she took care of business. Asphodel attacking here. Rikujo attacking Shiniyama. So Shiniyama, I don't know how many of you viewers have played with Necro. He was playing Shiniyama. He's something of a character around here. And he broke his nap with Rikujo to backstab him. So Rikujo is messing him up, and he thought that he had excuse me, I had a sneeze. He thought that he had allies to fight Rikujo during this backstab, but no one allied with him because, I mean, like I said, he's something of a character around here. So then he ended up rage quitting and getting a sub, which, if you ask me, wasn't the most mature way to handle that situation. But in any case, so now Rikujo and Shiniyama have been fighting for a while, and evidently, like, there's this whole coast of combat, all the way up to around here somewhere. Who knows? I don't know exactly whether the sub is trying to back out of that, but it's a situation that they're in. So Shiniyama has a lot of forts. Shiniyama is doing pretty well, all things considered. But I mean, Rikujo is one of the economic powerhouses, like top 3 in the whole game. So Shiniyama will have their work cut out for them if they want to resist that. Speaking of Diplo, I talked to Ashdod. We renewed our long-term non-aggression pact, so that's going clear through turn 70. Plus, like, non-aggression pact at 5 after that. Like, we're basically, like, permanent allies there, which is good for both of us. I don't really want to fight a bunch of super combatants, and he doesn't want to fight a bunch of genies, so... and he mentioned, he's like, yeah, I saw some of that raiding you were doing, BC. I want no part of that, which makes complete sense. I wouldn't want to fight me neither. He's gonna give me these 2 provinces over here, which will give me an avenue to go clear west, and like we talked about earlier, I'll just keep going until I decide to stop, which will probably be when I hit Atlantis. One thing that's awkward about this plan is that there's no thrones over here. Like, this is good for my income, but after, like, if all this goes perfectly according to plan, and I pick up Satis over here, and I pick up Nazca, and I end up somewhere around here, which over here is, I'm pretty sure this province is Machaka. It's one of these area. By that time, surely whomever is west of them will have vultured the west of Machaka, which is where this throne is, which means that for all of that trouble, I will have 1 throne. Which isn't exactly the way I wanted it. It's partially my fault because, I mean, I gave Uruk, my neighbor, this throne, and I gave Abyssia, my neighbor, this throne. And there's an advantage to that, in that with them having those thrones, they have much less incentive to attack me, since if they want to actually win, then attacking me doesn't do anything for them. But a consequence of that is that I'm gonna need to think some more about what my long-term end game is. Relay is a big wild card, and it's a problem. Like, there's, even with the mod we're using to make it easier to go underwater, like, attacking Relay would be kind of insane. One thing, that only access, I guess this has to be Atlantis. So that accesses 2 thrones, which is not exact, like probably just one to be honest. Um, and Relay has infamous assassins and mind blasters. The assassins aren't so scary for my thugs, but the mind blasters certainly are. And it would be in their home turf, and they've got their meteorite guard, which are cheap with magic weapons and powerful. Magic weapons means that they can punch through ethereal. They might have spirit sight as well. Like, there's no way that I'm going after Relay by myself. Um, so where does that leave me? There is Abyssia. Abyssia and I have had a pretty great relationship this whole game. So it's kind of more like my personal feels that I don't really want to go for Abyssia. And then there's Bannerlog. Bannerlog and I have had peace over here, while I've just kind of watched their battle with Iram. If Bannerlog starts to drop, then I will be moving in fast, and I'll be having some Malika and other thugs over on my eastern area here ready to go and capitalize as much as possible. I do not want to miss out on Bannerlog vulturing. But I would prefer for Bannerlog to fight back Iram, because if I'm up against Iram myself, like Iram is just big and strong, and they're fighting off 2 neighbors and doing it effectively, and unlike me, they got a lot of fire gems with which to harass their neighbors with. So, all this to say, thinking long term, not sure what I'm gonna do. If yeah, the fact that there's no thrones in this Machakan area is the real kicker. Let's go ahead and send you over there and see who actually has that throne in the first place. Oh, there's Machaka. There's Machaka. I thought it was further north than that. They're so close to each other. Like, literally 3 provinces. I guess the flip side is that if my plan goes according to plan, I will have 4 capitals and all the gem income and stuff that goes along with that, which is really nice. I just... it can be kind of overextended. Less so for a nation with flying and gateway, but still something to worry about. And B, it's just... at some point I need to think about, like, how I actually win this game. I mean, like, I'm not going to win this game. But I still should play as though I'm trying to win. Rugajo is a strong contender for winning just because they have so much airborne power to deploy wherever they need to send it. They've got a considerable amount of territory. Pythium is entering their late game, and they are cleaning house very effectively. They're going to have no problem dealing with Pangea, and that's going to bring them to 3 caps. Their own cap, Pangea and Flagra, and Arcocephale is kind of like their vassal. They only have maybe 2 thrones. They could possibly have all 4 of these, but I'd be very skeptical. I do not expect them to have that. That said, Pythium I would consider an unlikely contender for actually winning this game, because their mobility is poor. Sure, they have gateway, and they can gateway an entire communion and teleport. Like, that said, if they want to attack somebody, they've got to march their army the whole old-fashioned way. And a Pythium marching army is very vulnerable to flames from the sky, which we're not dealing with that right now. But by the time we're talking about someone actually winning this game, those guys are all going to burn. And each cast of flames from the sky will wipe out like about 40% of a Pythium communion, which is just insane. As well, like all these Hestatus, gladiators, all that shit, like they all are crispy. They just having human HP for a long game is a big vulnerability on your mages, is what I'm trying to say. So Ashdod. Ashdod is on 3 capitals. We'll see later that they conquered Nuala. There was no one left in Nuala. Nuala's done for. They've got this throne. So 2 thrones. They're long term. They've got tons of options. They could make more noise in Europe. They could go into Ermor, and I think they match up really well versus Ermor. Those lictors that I was so worried about, Ashdod with their fortitude and Phoenix Spire and stuff can just tank that. And kill limitless amounts of undead, same as me. They're so Ashdod has a lot of opportunities. They also have a lot of neighbors, which means that if they are threatening to win, he and I have long-term peace, and I'm going to honor that, but they will still have contenders around them. Iram could win. Iram could take over basically all of Asia, and the last time I played on this map, taking over Asia and then just kind of sliding west was the winning strategy. You don't have a lot of neighbors, but you do have a lot of thrones. Like, that's exactly what you want. So if Iram, they can get this throne whenever. It's not exactly easy one. Watcher ones never are, but they can grab it. And then they'll have one. This is an end right now, but they could grab that no problem. So 3 thrones over here. This one from Banderlog brings them to 4. Oh, and there's one down here. So that's 5 thrones that are easily part of Iram's late game. This guy makes 6. Although this is in their border with Kalem, and Kalem is in a strong position right now. 6 thrones does not win you the game, even if you somehow get 6 threes, which they're not going to do. So, for this long exercise, can I win? Almost certainly not. I don't see a way for me to get the thrones that I would need to make that kind of noise. I can get up to 4 caps, which is powerful. I can keep summoning my badasses, which is powerful. But I can't actually win just because of where the thrones happen to be. Like, all I have here is this goddamn throne of death that I'm not even keen to actually capture. Ashdod could win. They would have to go through a lot of people, but they are equipped to do so. They've got options. Pythium, I don't see, like, they have to win in the mid game by grabbing all these thrones, because if it gets to the late game, then yeah, I think that their stuff will just get burnt. Maybe there's some sort of like Pythium counter to that I'm not really seeing. Ulm is over here. Ulm always comes second in these games because they've got powerful troops, they've got powerful income since everyone's buying all their shit, but they can't that I see convert that into actually winning. Like they can summon every unique in the game. They can summon lots of Boreads and stuff like that, but they don't have the native mage power and summon power once you get to the late game. To like they can still field formidable armies. Don't get me wrong, like 200 guardians, all with army of gold and weapons of sharpness and all that other good stuff. Like that's good. This is really good, but without the native summons and native spells to kind of take it to the next tier, I don't see them winning a protected war against other people who also have in-game stuff. So that's my analysis of where we're at right now. Go ahead and peek through these battles, see if anything's interesting. I got distracted when I started talking about Rujo and Shinyama. There's good old Lumber Construct. I think he renamed him. Chad Oaken everything. Love it. Good job, Ashdod. I thought that maybe Nawala didn't bother to put PD back. They did. Abyssia took a swing at this throne. Here's the Demon Bread that they chose. He's got shock resistance 30, which is enough. Stone Skin, Armor of Knights, Acid Breath. Bloodthorn won't actually life drain against inanimate stuff, I don't think. And then Flesh Eater, so he berserks. I guess Bloodthorn are still life drain against these guys. The problem is his magic resistance is 16, and we will see why this becomes an issue soon enough. Sure. Oh, Fireball. Why not? So, he goes up, he comes right back down. Ooh! Ooh, look at that. So what did that much damage to him? Oh, he just got hit with the big-ass hatchet blow by Bear Tribe, 16 plus 17. Yeah, it didn't even have anything to do with the other thing I was mentioning. He did not cast Body of Flames, which would have helped quite a lot. The heat and fire shield don't matter, but the ethereal would have. But oh, it was a critical hit too. He's trying to regen. He's gone berserk. Yeah, he just got hit too hard. For some reason, I had thought that the monolith like vaporized him with Mind Burn or something like that, or Soul Slay. But in any case, you tried, but you'll have to try again some other time. Asphodel, Pangea. Just keeps going with the terracotta, man. Like, what's his plan? I don't get it. Terracotta is not a long-term strategy versus Zero. Alright. Oh, this was annoying. I did not give this Earth Gnome enough shock resistance, and so he just got shocked by lightning. He's got the regen going. But these guys, they hit for 12 lightning damage, and he only had 10 shock resist, so that wasn't a recipe for success. Bad BC. So here, Pelagia has their god going on land to cause trouble. Here's Pelagia's god. Astral 8, Nature 5. So Luck and Berserk? Not sure. Interesting loadout. Very interesting. The Fire Shield, of course, is to burn up skeletons. The Bark Skin, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Because that's moving him 1 protection point up at the cost of some fire vulnerability, which admittedly doesn't matter the most, but, like, you've got to have something better you can put in that slot. The Flambeau does a crap ton of damage, but still only hits 1 target, so that's also interesting. And the Poison Egg, which that's native to the Kraken, but doesn't do anything to Armor. So I don't think that this was the best loadout for Pelagia's God versus Ermor, but it didn't actually matter because he doesn't even fight any of these guys. Because, I mean, Kraken is natively a powerful chassis. Also, why did he give him that many goddamn gems? Like, I get you could put up Howl or something, which I don't know if you even want to do. I don't quite understand how Pelagia is playing, but maybe there's something I'm missing. Monster Boar. Do I care? Not really. Maybe I'll deal with it later. Utility Cult. Do I care? I could patrol him out. It's not like I need the extra troops there anyways. Sure. Let's just go ahead and kill these guys. Silent Ocean, sweet. Taxes, Bad Omens, and a False Prophet over here. Probably actually do care about that. I don't want this to flip. It's not the end of the world if it does, but I prefer it didn't. I'll just keep summoning some wolves and I'll go ahead and send them out later to deal with that situation. Go ahead and get a camel over here to lead the hounds that will be unleashed. Still thinking that Unleash the Archers will go ahead and gateway over there sometime. We'll see. Yeah, that's that. Scout stuff. We breached this, so we'll go ahead and storm. You can see the plan here is just, at least in this particular province, we should have enough birds to just bird everything. I think it's the Tis proper that has all of the defenders inside. Maybe this is greedy. Maybe I should just be storming with... Oh, you need a new name. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's the wrong way to do it, and I should be just sending in the Malika, but I think it'll be fine. We'll see. Anything else? No, we already talked about the long term. Hope that you found that interesting. And we'll just keep summoning wolves, we'll get the Ifrits going, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you next turn.